Welcome to the bench, friends. This is Joe, Blue Oval Racing, HO Scale Custom and Performance. On the bench, Dorothy. She is a mean, lean racing machine, a Wizzard Storm Extreme. In the last video, which was part 1, this will be part 2. In part 1, we installed part number WS46. Purchase that at Wizzard High Performance. It is the Storm Pro Hanger and Shoe Kit. And we did that in the last video. Dorothy has a new pair of shoes. In this video, we are going to replace the stock Wizzard Storm Extreme armature, which is the same armature that's in the Wizzard Storm and the Wizzard Storm and the Extreme model. We're going to install a Wizzard High Performance hot stock armature balanced, and the part number is SP04P. Again, SP04P. You can see that right in the video. And this is a balanced hot stock armature. Wizzard High Performance. Out of the good state of Pennsylvania, where I'm originally from. So to do this, there's a little bit more work involved than we did with the pickup shoe and the shoe hangers in the last video. So let's go ahead and get on with it. Pull off the rear axle. This thing right here looks like a staple. Pry that out. They do sell these. All these parts are available from Wizzard High Performance. And they are cheap. They are cheap, not cheaply made. They are very reasonably priced. This is like a little keeper that pushes down on the front bushing right here on the front of the armature. And next we will do the magnet clip. The traction magnet clip. I'm not sure the exact name they call it. If you don't want your magnets to fly out, do this. Now the shims will come out, but the magnets will stay in the chassis. That is the shims. Magnets are still in there. And if they do come out, which we will do now, and I'll show you how they are easy to put back in, because they can be a little bit of fun. Challenging, because they'll want to stick to the motor magnets. You need an itty bitty Allen wrench. I'm not sure the size. You buy that at Wizzard too. I think they're $1. Something like that. whenever working on a car, you really want to have extra parts depending on what you're working on. Like your brush springs, your brushes. This clip that looks like a staple. I think you get like 6 of them for like $1. You should have extra parts because you never know what's going to happen. All right, so let us continue on our journey with taking this apart. I use a piece of wood. That way no damage happens. And you just push everything out. The magnets are going to come out with the armature. There goes the front bushing. You need to reuse the spacers. The front will have 1 or 2 spacers on the front. But the back, the rear, where the pinion gear is, and then there's another bushing, there is quite a few spacers. I think there is, 5. Yeah. You want to put them in the same location as your new armature. Now, there's nothing wrong with this armature. We could use this armature in another Wizzard Storm Extreme, a Tyco, a Tyco 440 or a Tyco 440 times 2, a Lifelike M chassis, a Rocar M chassis. I mean, there's quite a few. You could use this in a even a Jag Hobbies, a Mega G. That armature would work in those chassis. Let's put that over there. All right. So let's break out the new armature. There's 1, 2, let's put this one on first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I already have 1 on the front of this armature. If I want a little bit of a tighter fit, I can put this additional spacer. But I like about a 5/1000 play, which we will have by putting 1 on the front. And we simply put our rear bushing on, pinion, front bushing, Little oil. A little oil. The magnet that has white on it goes on the passenger side, like so, here in the US. And this is how the armature goes back in the car. And these magnets can move around, and you drop it right back in. See how the bushings are placed on the armature, the front bushing and the rear bushing. And I have the magnet backwards one. Make sure you do not do that. It goes this way. Like so. And you line up the magnets with the armature, like so, and gently push it down into the chassis. And I like using a piece of wood to press everything down in, like so. Let me grab that. Brush. And there it is. Now, when they color the armatures, they're just using a Sharpie. This stuff wipes right off. That red Sharpie, that's all that is. And look at that, it's getting on the magnet. That's all a lot of these armature manufacturers use. They put a doggone Sharpie on it. I don't know why. It is what it is. And then it gets on your fingers too. And instead of using like they make a dye, armature dye. They also make a ceramic coating you could use. Instead, someone did use a Sharpie. That makes no sense. I guess it's a quick color job. All right, so as I'm rambling on, the staple doohickey goes back in those holes. One's there. One's there. Push it down in. Like so. I like to make sure that didn't bend in. There we go. See that color coming off the armature? A stinking Sharpie. And while we're at it, let's put this back on. And this one is not where it needs to be. There we go. Now, I like to be prepared for this, so I take the Allen screw and get it back onto the tool, like so. Take a brush. The brushes are fairly new, so I was not worried about which side, if they're going back on the exact side they were at. Spring in. Allen screw. I just like to get it in flush to start it off with. And then do fine tuning after that. Alrighty. Trying to gather stuff up here. The next brush. Okay. Goes in like that. Spring. That flew and stuck to my shirt, luckily. But like I said, make sure you have plenty of stuff. Springs are cheap. And if you lose one, well, you will just have to order a new one. I have probably 2 dozen of them. Always on hand. Eventually I will get down to a lot less if I continue losing any of them. Screw. Like so. To get it flush. That's pretty good. Let's see if she's going to fire up. Did we lose a spring? Let's get a little more tension on them. All right. Now I did keep one spacer off the front of the armature. I like a little bit extra play. I got about 5 thousandths. They usually have 2 on the front and they're pretty tight. So I kept one of the spacers off the front of the armature. And there's that. Now to get the magnets back in, that's always fun. The traction magnets, that is. And, well, there's a way to do it. You go like that. Grab your magnets. They're colored. One has white on it. And these are Neo magnets, and these things are quite sticky. you want to, by putting a piece of metal that magnet will stick to, this will help you out a little bit with reinstalling the traction magnets. And I got that one in upside down, because you can see they just want to pop up. Hold on. Let me get back organized here if at all possible. Okay, so we want this one in there like that. This one in here like that. And that one flipped up on me. There we go. Here's spacers that go on the magnets. The clip that holds the magnets, and the back bushing down into the chassis for the armature. And by the time you get assembled, a lot of the red that Wizzard High Performance puts on the armature is already off of it. I don't even know why they do that. I should have took it off with alcohol. So sometimes it just makes a mess. Apparently that's a cheap marker, whatever they use. So it is what it is. That stuff just comes right off. Yeah. All right. Running pretty good. And we have just a little bit of jiggle on the armature, roughly 5 thousandths, and that is it. I will need to adjust the screws in the brush barrel for the amount of pressure that the brushes are being pressed against the commutator of the armature. That's a piece of cake to do those adjustments. And in the next video, we will take Dorothy for a few scoots around the track. So this is part 2. Dorothy's got her balanced hot stock armature. Part number here, right here. Wizzard High Performance. And from the last video, the Storm Pro hanger and shoe kit right here. With that said, my friends, I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. Until next time.